What's up, people? Just doing a quick video on a knife I just picked up. It is the Todd Fischer Hawkbill. It's a pretty large knife. I believe it's 9.5 inches overall length. The blade length is listed as like 4¼ and the handle length is 5¼ inches. So, big knife. I will say this much though: the blade to handle ratio on this thing is awesome. It really doesn't handle like a big knife. It definitely feels, handles like a lot smaller of a knife, but it is big. So, anyway, like I said, it's the Hawkbill. I'm actually not even sure what steel this is, so I'll probably have to call or email or something Todd Fischer and see if he knows. But, like I said, like 4¼ inch blade. I like the fact that the Hawkbill isn't overly pronounced, overly curved. I'd still be able to sharpen this if I ever can get myself to use it. But handles are lightning strike carbon fiber with double titanium bolsters. The titanium on here is orange peeled or like egg-shelled. It's a really fine one though, so it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if it'll zoom, but it is just slightly orange peeled. The transition between the two materials is totally seamless. You can't feel anything. Both sides. The pocket clip is again orange peeled and is a pretty cool looking pocket clip. It functions well. I've carried this a couple times. Back spacer is kind of like the reverse gear pattern or something like that. Lockup is pretty early. It's solid. There's no play any direction. I believe this is on like nylon washers. I'm not positive. But the action, it's nice and smooth. Blade centering is spot on. So I love this knife. I mean, I really do. It's awesome. Like I said, the blade to handle ratio is crazy on this thing. I mean, it almost looks like the blade doesn't even fit in the handle, or wouldn't fit in the handle. So the jimping on here is pretty aggressive, but it's not like painfully aggressive. It's just, it definitely works. I wouldn't say it's overly aggressive. There's a lot of makers that do crazy ass jimping, and this isn't crazy, but it does definitely grip onto your fingers. I don't know if I pointed it out earlier or not, but there is carbon fiber inlays in the thumb studs. The liners of this knife are also, if I can get them to show up, are jeweled. Flashlight here to try this out. See if I can get you to see it better. But the liners are jeweled. So, pretty badass knife, guys. I really, I bought this just to take, I wanted to try something above, a level above, anything that I've really owned. So I figured I check this knife out, and I broke my price barrier, which in all reality I shouldn't have, because I really do pretty much have to use my knives to keep them. But it's going to be really freaking hard to use this knife. It's just a gorgeous knife. It's sharp as hell. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I'm sure it would use just fine. It'd just be really hard for me to ding this thing up. But like I said, it feels great in hand. And for a little size comparison, this is a large Sebenza in Singo. Line them up. And there you go. It's quite considerably larger, amount larger than the Sebenza, at least an inch or so. And thickness wise, same deal. I mean, it's a lot thicker in blade stock and in handle thickness. But like I said, this knife really does feel amazing in the hand. That's another reason I don't want to, we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully I get the, hopefully I'll keep it and just make it a part of the collection. But it is a pretty ridiculous knife. The Fischers, well, I've never held a knife from Frank Fischer, but Todd Fischer does a hell of a job And that's about that on this one. I guess while I have you guys, I'll just throw in a couple other recent acquisitions. This one's actually in my pocket, the sheath is. So this is the Borka Blades S-Rambit. If you guys know Sebastian from Sibo Strip from Instagram or YouTube, he started making knives. He now goes by Borka Blades, and I picked one of these up, and I gotta say I love it. It's a pretty badass knife. I believe it's 154 cm. He's got a nice grind on there. The first day I got it, I cut up a bunch of cardboard with it, and it slices really well. It's paracord wrapped, and it looks like under the paracord he's got a little bit of grip tape to help it keep the paracord from moving. He did this kind of, I don't know if you want to call it like a rock or reptilian pattern on it. Spine too. Well, so it's a pretty badass knife. It feels good. I generally don't like karambits, but I would say this isn't really a straight karambit. The reason I like this and the Strider KVA is it's definitely can still be used as a utility knife. It feels absolutely comfortable in the foregrip, and you know, same thing with reverse grip. But just for size reference again, there's a large Sebenza, so it's a little bit, try to get it more accurate. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller lengthwise than the Sebenza, but obviously. And I can't remember what thickness it is, but it's thicker than the Sebenza, so the blade stock. But a pretty badass knife, guys. If you haven't checked out one of his knives, definitely go do it. He's putting these out at a pretty decent price, so I have no complaints. It came with the sheath. The sheath retention is good. It's actually attached to my belt right now, or I would pull it out and show you. But the only nitpick of this knife that I can find that that's any imperfection is the plunge line right there. It's a little off, and that's about it. So he's newer to knife making, and he's doing a hell of a job already. Some of the other ones I've seen already, he's cleaned up his plunge ground already. So he's making a badass knife, so check him out. He's Borka Blades on Instagram, and I don't know if he changed his YouTube or not yet to reflect that as well, so check him out. And then the last one, or two, is just two traditional slip joints I picked up that don't warrant their own video. But and I'll be quite honest with you guys, I don't know shit about traditionals. It's a really, my first knife was a Swiss Army knife. I've had a couple Swiss Army knives, and that's the closest thing to traditionals I've had. So I picked up this Great Eastern Cutlery, I believe it's a Titty model. It is made by GEC. It's a number 47, I believe, Viper. It's a pretty cool little knife. This one's Cody wood, if that's how you say it. No real gaps or anything in the back spring and the spacers or the liners. So, pretty cool ass knife. I really like it. I didn't know if I would like carrying traditional or not, and I've definitely learned to, you know, like them. You won't see a tremendous amount of these in my collection ever, but it is what it is. I definitely do like them a little bit though. So, and the last one is my Madison Barlow from Northwoods. Got it from Knives Ship Free. I like this one just because it was a pretty big knife. It's like a 3.5 inch blade, which to me is pretty big for a traditional. So, but it's a pretty cool knife as well. 1095, mirror polished. So the only thing is, I've had one issue with this. I don't know if you can kind of see it down there. The back spring is contacting the blade when it closed and shipped out. So I contacted Knives Ship Free, and they're really good guys. If you haven't ever done business with them, I'd recommend it. You know, just filled out a paper, and basically they said send it in, and they'll replace it for free. So, but I do like the knife. It's got a half stop. Camel bone's pretty cool. So, kind of rushing through this one, guys. My camera's going to shut off here in a matter of seconds. So, talk to y'all later. Enjoy.